Peace, 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 family. Shout out to my Neezy brothers and sisters out there, man. I love y'all. Today's topic is gonna be about how European tenants was on our ancestors' farms, working for us, for our ancestors down south, y'all. Sometimes modern day society make it seem like we was getting beat with whips and on farms picking cotton and shit for the slave master. No, that's not how it went down, people. Our ancestors owned them farms all through the motherfucking south. Feel me? And we took these European tenants in on our lands, gave them teepees to sleep in on our farmland. Feel me? They was helping us pick cotton, all that shit. You feel me? We was working for our people down south. All through that area. South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, all through the south. I got a video that I'm gonna show y'all, man. My brother Dan breaking this shit down. Let's get into it. We dim the lights real quick. Let's get it.
Opinion, Dane, about critical race theory of what they want to institute right now.
Here's one thing that I can state that is a problem. What culture are they teaching to our children in school?
Okay, you mean as of right now or as it pertains to critical race theory?
Because that plays a part of the critical race, because the critical race is in question based off of who the race is against, meaning who are the participants of the race. Listen to me. The reason why I'm saying it that way is because when you talk about the topic of race, this is about who an individual may feel as though is better. But that used to be called being prejudiced. But now they want to focus on, being racist. Okay, the only way it can be racist is if it's not done to just one particular group of people. It's done to all. It's done to all. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's a lot of foreigners that are coming over here, still to this very day. And what they get indoctrinated in school with, is it the same thing that we're indoctrinated in school with? And if so, what culture are you teaching the children inside of the school?
Real quick, y'all know y'all in them history schools, not history school, I'm sure. But in history classes, in the school curriculums, y'all, we was all our brothers and sisters was taught, and even the Europeans and other races of people was all taught that we was slaves, picking cotton on cotton fields, getting beat with the whip and shit. That's not how it went down, my people. Our ancestors owned them farms. We was sharecroppers working for our great grandpas and uncles and aunties and grandmas. It was actually the Europeans that was tenants on our farms, because they was looking for work. You feel me? And they wouldn't be able to they weren't able to survive without us, man. They was living in the woods, dying of starvation and all type of shit. And we took them in on our farms and gave them work. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to know that slavery is just another form of employment. Employment means to serve. Slave, that's what it means basically in the Webster dictionary, because you working for somebody, you know what I'm saying? But shit, that's what they had to do, you feel me? And modern day is just modern days employment is just, they just upgraded to modern day, you know what I'm saying? It's still modern day slavery, employment. When we go to work, we working for somebody other than our people. It's a foreign. We working for these foreigners and shit, these immigrants and the pale faces. They taking taxes out of our check. We gotta pay local and federal taxes. I mean, let's get into this. Let's get into this shit.
Whose culture is that?
Well, I was a kid running around in the 70s, and in elementary school, that was in the 70s, and up to from that time, and probably prior to, I've learned U.S. history. That's what it was called, United States history. So it didn't talk about American. That's not American history. But they taught us and instilled in us U.S. history, the corporation's history, mainstream white media history. That's what they taught in school. They taught very little about our ancestors.
What I was referring to was how that is the exact same. You're touching on what I'm talking about, but as far as U.S. history is concerned and what you're being taught in school, we know that as U.S. history, meaning the government, meaning that corporation, like you mentioned. Mm-hmm. But isn't that the same thing for the media?
That is the same thing for the media.
The media is taught to make the politicians look good. In turn, that makes the government look good. But same thing with these so-called curriculums that they're teaching our children. That's why I asked that question originally. Whose culture are they referring to? Whose culture are they teaching in our school? When all that information reverts back to just making this government look good.
Correct. Well, they're talking about the history of the United States Corporation of America. And that consists of, unfortunately, predominantly the white race. And the things that they've done and how they've developed the 50 states. That's what it teaches about. And that's it. It teaches white history. Okay? And I'm not being racist. I'm telling the truth as I see it. They need to start in the educational system. The problem is they need to start with the truth first. Number one, they need to correct everything that was a lie. And I think I believe once they do that, we can then institute a curriculum at the different levels of understanding for each age group. For example, the words need to be taught right. For instance, slave. When you think of slave, the first thing anybody in this country thinks, and anyone who comes here to learn about U.S. history, when you hear the word slave, the first two people you think of is black people and white people. Black person was the slave, white person was the master. That's a lie. Now, they need to tell the truth of what slavery is and what it's about. Slavery means employment. It's a type of employment. The mainstream media, the entertaining community, everybody that comes here, growing up thinking that a white man beat blacks with whips and went and got them from their land, which is a lie.
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay?
It needs to be thrown out the window. I agree.
It needs to be thrown out, needs to be corrected. And they need to explain.
They instilled that into history to install in fear inside of us, to make them seem like they were superior. That's the only reason why they did that shit. And when we watched the movie, when they made the movie, not the movies, but the shows called Roots and shit like that, when you see the slaves and beat with whips on cotton fields, that's not how it was, man. Our ancestors owned them farms, man. You feel me? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. We owned them farms, man. We was sharecroppers and all types of shit, man. They was serving us, man, on our shit. They was tenants on our shit. But they don't want to teach or show that. Feel me? Yeah, they gotta stop with this shit, bro. And then they give us imagery of this shit to make it seem like it was real when it wasn't. Y'all see how they be deceiving motherfuckers? Shit crazy. And think about this, y'all. How did we come from Africa? So they say on boats, which never happened, and the ships was never proven to be real or true. When we was already here and already was farmers and landowners all through the south and the north. you gotta start rethinking all this shit, man. Just break these chains, man. Let's get it.
What slavery is, that it is employment,
Farmers.
and that the people, copper color people, received
Them our
a
great
benefit.
uncles
They were
grandfathers.
compensated for their work. Probably not the best, but guess
see
what?
y'all see the
They
pipe?
also need to.
Y'all see the pipe? See, the Indians grew tobacco pipes and shit, man. We made all that shit, man. Come on, man. I got me an old school original pipe. I still hit, man. Feel me? That's what we did when we was chilling, man. That's what we did, man. That's what we did.
Need to teach that there were white slaves too. That needs to be taught, because right now the whole world thinks that white people were just masters that beat black people real bad and enslaved them and raped them and whipped them. That needs to be fixed. They need to tell that white people came to America and they were slaves.
To your point, they do state that these white folks came over here on boats as slaves. It's just not publicized, or it's not institutionalized within their indoctrinating curriculums inside of the schools.
Correct.
We're taught at a very young age that we were the slaves. We had chains and shackles. They did that purposely, so that could be embedded in us at a very young age, because that's what I told people. In order to manipulate the mindset, you got to give them a whole perspective. You got to give the individual a perspective to lean on and make it believable by having interactions with the unbelievable. Let me say it that way. The reason why I say it that way is because
this game, you're not ready for it.
You're in the middle of this beautiful sci-fi environment, and you're seeing intrigue, the espionage, the alliances form, the power that just shifts around, and it's amazing to watch.
Simple actions can have massive effects.
You can cooperate with people, compete with them, make friendships, deceive them, betray them. It's amazing to think that it's all just other players.
More players start coming. It just starts this complete cascade of actions, and you don't know what's going to happen.
It is a free-for-all. People get locked up and shot instantly. People start dying left, right, and centre. It's just something that you can't get anywhere else. It's just the rush like no other.
Everybody's on this journey and writing their own stories, and that is probably the simplest way I can describe it.
Sure.
they're playing off of your imagination. They're playing off of your emotions and your imagination. That's been done for a very long time. That's called social engineering. They have been studying this process for years. And they know for a fact, and who I mean by they is the government, they know for a fact that they have to continuously do this towards our children. And we cannot only blame the government to that point. We have to blame the parents. But that's why I said it's going to have to take a community of us to come together to let the parents know, look, there is a problem with what's being taught or told rather to your children in elementary school. That's number one. It's starting there. It's going all the way up to colleges and universities. they controlled this they started controlling the use of information of how it comes about firmly, okay, meaning how it comes about, how it is established and agreed upon in the 1940s, 1948 to be exact. And I shared this before. It's HR 3342. That is the Information and Educational Exchange Act. And they did it in every step of the way. Now, to the point where they had to come back and utilize this same act differently. They renamed it in order to add things like the internet and every other thing, like dealing with social media, for example, social media sites. The government wants control of all information. No matter if you came up with the idea internet or not, the government wants control of it, over it. Why? Why should we not have control over the information that we give our children?
Correct.
Well, number one, they're getting you both ways. They're getting you through slavery, which is employment. They're keeping you employed to take your time away from your children. So you won't have time to teach them at home. That's number one. That is number one.
And that is purposely done. Why they indoctrinating our kids in schools? Schools is institutions, man. Industrial institutions. All you doing is going to get a degree or a diploma. And even if you do go to college, you got to pay thousands of dollars and you end up in debt. All you doing is going there to get a better job, to become a better worker for another motherfucker. For another, you know what I'm saying, for another company that a white motherfucker own or an Asian motherfucker own. You feel me? Fuck that. They need to be teaching our kids how to be self-sufficient like we was back in the days. Like our Indian ancestors back in the day was. When Wall Street was jumping in Oklahoma, all through down south Alabama, when we had our own, we was self-sufficient, man. We need to start relying on these motherfuckers, man. Because they don't have our best interests. They need to be teaching our kids how to build and shit, how to build houses. Credit. Motherfucking, how to own businesses. How to farm. Owning land. You know what I'm saying? All that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Math and shit, basic shit, that shit gonna come. And really, we gotta teach our own kids, man, about our history and about being self-sufficient, man. The homes, it's starting the homes, y'all. Let's get it.
They keep you away from your children purposely by telling you that you have to go slave for some white man that you never seen before for the majority amount of years of your life. And you still gotta raise your children. Now that's difficult. So the child is left up to being taught by a stranger. That stranger was given a curriculum to teach by a body of people or a board in which that school board, that's what I'm referring to, has to answer to the government only.
A governing body.
The Department of Education is who they answer to.
United States Department of Education. That is correct.
The Department of Education is falling up under this government, and they have done this systematically by design. And who I mean, once again, when I say they, I'm always referring to the government, most likely. I just gave you the code. I'll give you the name of it. Like how they say it's public law. It's Public Law 80-402, 62 Stat 6. January 27th, 1948 is when they passed this. No, they didn't hear nothing about this out of Africa theory until this was passed.
There you go.
This is also a reason why I told people that information differs in other countries. Because it's only the information that this government can control. That's why when you see these Africans come from so-called Africa, They come here, they don't know what the hell you talking about. It won't fail, and it started in the 1940s, 1948. That wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't. That's when my mother was a little girl. She was born in 1948. And the same with my grandmother. She was born in 1931. And she was like livid when we watched Roots and thought those were our ancestors. She put a nipple in that. She said, not that she had anything against Africans. She did say, why are y'all crying? You're not from Africa. Because we cry when we seen Kunta Kinte get caught with those chains. My grandmother, she put a nip in it. No, you're not African. And so they need to teach the truth. There were black slaves, and guess what? There were white slaves too, working in the same damn cotton fields.
That was before they even had cotton. They didn't have cotton until the 1880s. I could be wrong about that. Cotton was the very last one. Put it like that. It was the very last one. And it came late. But yeah, it wasn't always the cotton fields that they were working in. In fact, because they tell you slavery was abolished in the 1863, 1865, but look up when they started having a vast majority of cotton. That started super late, and I can't remember the year exactly. In other words, this is how you know slavery continued on, because they were showing us cotton fields, and our people were out there picking cotton, but that came later. In fact, picking cotton was going all the way up until the late 1940s, 1950s. In fact, they still didn't stop it, but that's a different topic. But yeah, I can recall a few people's grandmothers I met saying they were still picking cotton in the 1940s.
Yeah,
1930s.
But they also failed to tell you that some of it was on their own land.
Yeah, of course. That's how they made money.
If we're telling our children the truth,
she said,
then it's...
I heard her, y'all, she said on our own land. See, we was working for our ancestors, you feel me? We was working for our people. For our great uncles and grandmas, and they own land, acres, man. We had family businesses, man. It was like a family business. You feel me? Let's get it.
Us against the government. So we're saying that they need to teach the truth in the schools. We're going to tell our children the truth, but their teachings can't contradict ours. Just like with the Constitution, if you violate the supreme law of the land, any of the states, if it's unconstitutional for the Constitution, well, goddamn it, what you're teaching my child is unconstitutional for me. I'm teaching my child the truth. You stop referring to my child. Stop referring to my child as a goddamn African and black. We don't teach our children that they're Africans.
I keep saying
that
that
they
shit,
came
y'all.
on slave ships.
Black is a misnomer. When y'all check that box, when y'all go fill out an application and shit, or in schools when we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Black is a misnomer. The definition of the word black means non-existent. Non-existing. You feel me? When we label each other as black, we basically saying we don't exist. And if we label each other's, and then when we fill in the box as African American, we stating that we are foreigners in our own land, man. You feel me? And y'all, I'm from Sandusky, man. We get motherfuckers. This is a tourist town. We get hella motherfuckers hella motherfucking foreigners that come over here, man. And mainly of them is so-called Africans. Man, I'll talk to so many of them. They never refer to that continent as Africa. Remember, the word Africa came from Africanus, a European Roman emperor that came and colonized a kingdom in North Africa called the Kingdom of Tunisia in North Africa. And there was a group of white people called Afrikaners that was there that he colonized. So I just want to get that out there. Y'all gotta look into that, man. I've been doing hella research on this shit, man. This shit, I will never tell y'all no lie, man. I love my people to death, man. But I talked to some real bona fide so-called Africans, man. They don't call that continent that, and they never heard of a motherfucking slave trade or none of that shit, man. It was all a lie, man. All a lie. And so they can hide our identity and take our land and shit from us. So let's get it.
That
That's
they're slaves and that in Negroes, we don't teach our kids that. We teach them the truth.
Remember,
we
y'all,
teach them
remember, y'all, we went from Indian to Negro to colored, black, and African American. We are the Indians, man. Go all the way back to the 1790 census. And they kept changing our name. We the only one that get misclassified, man. And they change the names all the time to try to hide it, bro. The truth is here, man. Y'all can't hide it no more. Feel me? We are the lost tribes. We found now. We waking up. Let's get it.
what happened to us. We teach them that our main identities were changed and we were given labels. That's the truth.
We were given classifications.
We were given classifications. So these are the truths that we need to teach to our children. No, you're not from Africa. And then don't go to school and have them celebrate African American History Month because they're not Africans.
And does that even exist? I thought it was called Black History Month.
Exactly.
Same difference.
And I don't even like that.
I like that point. I like that point, though.
You know, and I don't even like that either. And they don't understand the things that they've done to our children and that they do to our children. Okay? So that, in a nutshell, needs to be taught. Number one, everybody that came over here was just about a damn slave. And if you had to come here, you're a foreigner. However, if you were already here, you are not a foreigner, and you are an aboriginal to this landmass. We do not teach our children that we came here because we didn't. We were already here when the Irish and all these other races came here.
That's correct.
Facts.
And they acknowledge that. See, the thing is that they acknowledge that in their records. I always give people the Virginia colony of London. All you got to do is pick up the Virginia Statutes at Large.
Building your custom home is now easier than ever. And with America's Home Place, we can show you how. During our 50 years as a custom home builder, we've built homes for nearly 40,000 families and mastered the art of building in the process.
Once you pick up those records, you can literally find out and see who they were in contact with when they got here. Keep in mind the Virginia colony was controlled by the Virginia Company of London. So you know how far that history go back. Now we talking about 1600s.
Correct.
So, and I'm talking about early 1600s, so you may get some late 1500 word stuff in there too if you read like how I read 5 books damn near a damn day. I'm over exaggerating a little bit. It could be 2 days, but I'm a reader. My grandmother had me reading books before I could even go outside when I was young. I'm telling you, I read. I don't play that shit.
Right.
I couldn't go outside until I read the book and had to come to her and tell her what the book was about, and I better not lie, because she didn't already read the book.
That's right, and we had to write book reports and give them to our
goddamn right.
We had to write a book report. When
my grandmother ain't play that.
Yeah.
My grandmother told me that she wanted me to be a mayor or something. She just wanted me to be something, okay? To be separated from what was going on in front of my face.
Yeah.
Which was, she knew the fact that they were doing indoctrination inside of these schools, so she wanted me in the best schools that she could possibly get me in, whether she had to come out of pocket or not. I went to them schools with them white folks when I got older, so this is how I can tell you, yes, they were getting taught the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I still had friends back at home telling me what they were being taught, showing me, yo, can you help me with this?
Yes.
And see, what the problem is is what they, man, I could get deeper on this topic, and I will, because it's a lot of stuff that they're teaching right now as we speak inside of them schools that don't make no goddamn sense.
It don't. It doesn't.
That should be questioned.
Does not.
And it should be out. I'm talking about out, right now out. Like, it shouldn't even be there. Like, number one, you know for a fact that any record that you see with the title is Black people or African American people, as soon as you see that, you know that information has an agenda. And it's not in your favor. That's
Correct.
number one.
Yep.
That means that that was not done by somebody with the best intent for our people. Because our people should not, and haven't been historically, in a large scale, refer to themselves as African American nor Black. And I proved that multiple times.
Or Negro, or mulatto, or colored.
Yeah, none of these classifications that were given to us by this goddamn government.
By this government.
And Indian, by the way.
Yeah.
Indian also. Okay.
Right. They gave us that too. They actually created a person and called it an Indian. And we have that for facts. They created an Indian and disregarded the brown one, my complexion. The original, the full blood. That's what they did.
Yeah, they gave you a different look for what an Indian was supposed to be.
Correct.
Hollywood.
They wanted to change the way, or the natural way, of the real Aboriginal. 100% I'm pure. Okay? But then, because a white man had a baby with a black woman, or vice versa, you're the Indian. The browner one is the Negro. That's what they did.
Why was that term Negro used on us? Out the blue now, out the blue. Because they were trying to tell us that it came from the Spanish term negra, but that means a person of color, not from Africa. They didn't say that. That means a person of a darker hue.
Right.
Of a darker hue. Negra, negro. But were these pale faces coming over here using it that same way? No, they were not.
You mean negro and negra.
Negro. Negra, negro. That's Latin.
In the Latin language.
In the Latin language. See, and keep in mind what they call that area. Latin America? Tell me where Latin America's located.
The Americas. But it's another name given by
another classification given by the government.
Given by the government.
They telling you they marking off their territory with an imaginary line.
Correct.
Okay. What area did they have to tell Trump that the U.S. controlled?
Look, y'all, all of that is Turtle Island, man. All the way up to North America, man. All of that shit. All our ancestors, man. That's down there, man. Shout out to South America, man.
He forgot.
South America?
It was in Latin America. It was an area in Latin America that he referred to, and he forgot.
And most of these lands is covered up with water, bro. All this shit is originally Atlantis, man. From North America all the way down to south, down to the south in Mexico, and all the way down to South America, man. That's all ancient Atlantis. And some of this shit is underneath the waters, man. From water erosion rising up to the top. A lot of our lands is underwater, man. Shit crazy.
And it's the reason why
they became a state way later.
Exactly. That's the reason why. Hold on. They're not a state, but at the same time, yes, it is a state. A state is a country. Puerto Rico was one of the last countries that did what?
Became a state.
That consented to this government. Remember that picture I was showing people where it was Uncle Sam pointing at the Indian at the door?
And the Cubans and all of them, yep.
Okay. And you saw that list of who came late, who consented to the government and its rulership.
Puerto Rico.
And it's not what y'all think it is. See, they try to make it seem like it was a battle. Like all that fake Viking shit that y'all see on TV is they lying. Like the movie
they ain't come bully shit like
300,
that.
and they talking about a battle went down like that. They lying. They lying. That's not what happened. It's about what government accepted. What government? And the whole time they had to give themselves the upper hand, and I mean the pale faces in general, by coming up with these stories that people felt for. And they gave you these descriptive terms and all this conceptualism. They gave you the images to make it seem as if it was true, versus them giving you hard evidence. Primary sources.
Of the slave ships, them was fake.
They lied about those Viking stories, the 300, and it was a big battle. And who was that? That they claimed in the Bible that was chained to 2 big poles and brought it all down with his bare arms.
Hey, they be making
the strongest man in the world. No. Oh, Samson. Okay, when Samson, now I want y'all to think about this for a second. This might get deep. Hold on. See, if my wife was here, she would have stopped me by now. Here, they're talking about here in that Bible. They're talking about
in
that here.
That's right.
Here, H-E-I-R.
Exactly. They talking about exactly. Now they're also exposed.
Imagine if you can make $2K or $5K or even $10,000 a month from anywhere by simply listening.
I swear, I want to shit acting like this. Forgive me, y'all. My shit normally don't be acting slow like this, man. This shit is ridiculous. I'm in a motherfucking library where the Wi-Fi is strong as fuck. I don't understand that shit. Come on, man. Shit crazy.
So exposes a different side of this. Okay, for example, let's hit you with another example just like that. The story of Tarzan telling you that some pale faces swinging in a tree. Right? How the hell you from Africa, but you Tarzan swinging in some trees and you white? Y'all want me to get deeper?
Listen, honey.
Huh?
Go ahead.
This is what they've been. I'm telling you, white supremacy is an illusion. When I say that, that's what I'm referring to. They have to give themselves that power to make it seem as if they up.
Make them feel good.
This is the reason why they put themselves at the top, to make it seem as if they up. This is the reason why they put Europe at the top of the map, to make it seem as if they up. They at the bottom the whole time. This entire government ain't got shit on us. Nothing. It's all talk.
That's all it always has.
This whole time, even with the documents, all talk. Treaties, all talk. Congress, congressional meetings, all talk. The president talking to the people, all talk. The media, all talk. Real talk. Look at it. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. They making it seem as if you fitting in, but they keeping you out for a reason. Because if you inside, you can expose their insides.
You get to know the truth.
This shit shouldn't be buffering like this.
I'm not gonna go too far on this, Y'all, I'm not gonna go too far on this, but that's why they want you deep inside that Bible. Because the more you learn that Bible, the more you'll become attached and consent to the government.
Correct.
It's that deep. It's that deep. And I told you, this is the reason why them Goose Movie videos ain't do well. Because Goose Movie ain't gonna show you the videos I told you about this government. They definitely use religion against you. That's what the stories came from.
Hello.
They had to adapt your stuff, your creativeness, into their form of religion in order for you to become accustomed to saying, you know what, it's talking about me, y'all. See how y'all be like, see, no, do the rock. Only 28 versus such and such and such talking about us. It's a reason why. But
oh my God!
keep in mind, they don't say black. They don't say African American. They don't say Negro. Huh? But they gonna tell you, listen, they gonna tell you a totally different name and say that that's your people. That was your people. The Jews was this. It's no different than you saying the Hamites was that. They making you go through this for no reason. This is to keep you separate. They using this whole scheme against our people. It falls right back on the government. It definitely falls right back on the government. Clearly, top bottom, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you think I don't be giving you solutions? I'm telling you the solution by exposing what's going on.
Exactly.
All you gotta do is listen to me, and we can get 13% of our people, and I love using that number, and I'm gonna keep saying that, because that's their favorite number, so I love to smash it in front of their face. We just need 13% of our people. We create a community, we structure our the way we want our and this government will have to obey our rule.
Facts.
I can't do this by myself. So we're gonna need. This is the reason why I'm
I'm down with it.
talking to people. I don't care what type of label they got. I make these celebrities comfortable also because I'm letting them know, look, some of y'all got some money. We can make some moves.
Get some land, get some businesses going, build our own military.
Like, come on, man. Like, yeah, instead of you buying this and buying that, and hey, let's buy this. Let's buy into us. It's not okay. We see how they treating our people already. We talking about buy black, but now we know the reason why that's not working. It's because black means death in law. Not only that, that means dead. Period. Non-existent.
Whoa.
So if you saying buy non-existent, it's gonna keep non-existent.
Different shades of the color.
Listen, it's gonna keep non-existing.
Facts.
This has been happening for years. We can stop this now. Damn it, we don't gotta wait for nobody to come save
Buffer like this. That's why this shit is crazy, man.
us. We don't gotta wait for nobody.
No.
We can do this right now.
Facts.
If y'all hear me 5 years, 10 years from now, it's always gonna be the same message. We have to do this for us. We can not let nobody do. I'm talking about nobody. The people, the Aborigines, the Niji, the Aboriginals, the Indigenous, the Primordials. We, the first are here. The first is here, us.
Correct.
Want a second income stream? Because if you can download an app from the App Store, then you can now build a passive six-figure income stream within weeks.
Come on. Never act slow like this, man. Now today when I do this.
We have to do this. It can't be no foreign influence. Like, for example, the people of South America waiting on us. The Africans waiting on us. It's us, y'all. We gotta start it. We gotta start it. Because everybody else gonna follow suit. And shout out to South Africa, because South Africa went through the apartheid and won.
And won.
And won. And got their government back.
What do you think gonna happen when we do? That's why I told y'all not to vote. Run your damn self. You can take your own spots back.
We can do this shit, man. And we gonna do it. I know we gonna do it. It's inevitable. They cannot stop it. It's gonna happen. They can't stop it.
You definitely can.
And they know they can't.
If our First Amendment, man, says we got a right to assemble our own government without any other foreign government influence, man. Like we did, like how we did at Wall Street. You feel me? And then that wasn't that long ago, y'all. You can get this shit jumping, man. I'm telling y'all, we can do this shit.
Can't stop it. Even with the international law, they can't stop it.
Damn sure.
That's their own law.
Yeah.
They can't intervene. That's according to their own law. We can do our own shit.
That's right.
They tried to scare you with that Tulsa, Oklahoma situation. They tried to scare you. Now we can do this shit again.
How many people know how to light fires? Because that's what they did in Oklahoma.
No, they had army planes. They dropped bombs.
Yeah,
there was U.S. Army planes. They burnt everything. I agree with that. And they also had Tommy guns, machine guns strapped to big trucks, riding around in people's homes. These motherfuckers did that, y'all. Real talk though.
No excuse.
That's not no joke. Like, this government dropped bombs on us.
Yes.
And we still kissing their ass.
For what?
And that was 1921. And it's 2021. How long you gonna wait?
That's the goddamn problem right there. We have our people heavily in these churches and don't understand. We only need 13%. The rest will follow suit.
Right.
The rest will follow suit.
I'm just here to make you think.
Well, my Neezy brothers and sisters, man, I hope I gave y'all some good information today. Shout out to my brother Dane. Yeah, by the way, y'all, I'm gonna be down there in Mississippi, man, in about 2 months, man, to visit my Choctaw Indians ancestors down there, man. My great granny was Choctaw. On my grandpa's side, Cherokee. So shout out to South Carolina down there, man. But I'm gonna be in Mississippi, y'all. I found out my great grandmother, she owns some land down there, man. She owns acres of land down there, and it's still in the family. I'm gonna go down there and take pictures, man. I'm gonna visit the Indian mounds down there. I'm gonna put all that shit on here, y'all. But yeah, you already know. I got the feathers I'm representing.
Log on to patreon.com/Dane Calloway or paypal.me/Dane Calloway to support me, my channel, and my content. Any amount is very much appreciated.
I don't know why my shit keep acting like this, man. Sorry for my shit for acting slow today. I don't know why, y'all. Kept buffering and shit and keep... They don't normally do this shit, man. But I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. Wad up.